Right now we're at Fairfield County, right outside of Columbus, man, on the Empowerment Workshop Tour. Myself, Cardell Sims, Brandon Lasses, man, all formerly incarcerated individuals going in, knock this workshop out. Entrepreneurship, resume building, vision boarding, and a whole lot of resources for the men that's incarcerated. You know, this is something that's never really been done before on the tour going throughout the country, man. You about to lay it down. And so, documentary coming soon. Peace.
How many of y'all got a vision for yourself when you get out? Vision, put your hands up. You got a vision. What you know you're gonna do when you get out?
I said, well, I'm gonna get back to what I know. I'm going to treat my incarceration like I'm in school. And that's exactly what I did.
I took the franchise from 1.4 million to 2.6 million in 18 months. They put me on news, I made Black Enterprise, I made Success Magazine, I made Entrepreneur.
That's telling me that I gotta change people I'm dealing with. Whether it's wife, family, kids, whatever.
If you go to jail and you're incarcerated for doing something wrong, and they take you away from the community for so long, and then split you right back into it. If you're out there without any type of social skills or survival tactics, how are you going to be expected to succeed? Well, out of all my time of being incarcerated, I've never had this experience. I've never had other guys that was incarcerated that has become entrepreneurs, role models. I've never ran into you guys. Hope. I would describe this workshop that's going on with you guys as hope.
The reentry workshop today, I think it was really good. Everybody was so captivated by what was going on. I probably could have told the CEOs, like, you know, go have a seat.
The reentry tour that we just did was phenomenal. All it takes is that spark. That is our jobs as leaders and speakers, is to empower them. And that sparking that is going to make them want to change, you know? So that's the best opportunity. You guys did phenomenal. You're interactive, you are real with them. And I think that we need more people like you doing that, because that's the only way for them to relate.
I believe that I cannot let the rest of the world define me. It's up to me to define who I am. No matter the struggles I've gone through, I am resilient. My name is Barbara Baker, and I'm the Advocate Director at the Center for Women in Transition. This year, I celebrated 20 years at CWIT. My story is similar to many of the ladies that we serve. I grew up in North City and didn't have a lot of opportunities. I dropped out of school in the 10th grade. I didn't wake up one day and decide that I was going to be a heroin addict, have 2 kids, and leave them for my family to raise. But that's what addiction does. Because of my addiction, I ended up going in and out of prison for over 15 years. When I came out the last time in 1995, I knew I wanted to change my life, but it wasn't easy. What made the transition possible was having a strong support system. When women come out of prison, a lot of them feel they have no one to turn to for help. They can't go back to their old situations they were in before, whether that was domestic abuse, drugs, or living on the streets. Or else there's a good chance they'll end back up in jail. They need an environment where they can heal and change their lives. The Center for Women in Transition is truly that supportive environment for our clients. We make sure that our ladies are housed and that they are safe. We give them the tools for recovery. And we help empower our clients to thrive through counseling services, individual case management, life skill courses, vocational services, court advocacy, and peer support services. We give them the tools and the skills they need to make it on their own. And the impact to the community is huge. We have volunteer mentors who provide social support, and people who come and teach yoga, who bring holiday meals, who help remodel the apartments, and of course, who donate to make all this possible. Most of all, we help our clients reimagine who they are, not who the world told them they are, because they are resilient women worthy of love.
I just got connected into the wrong relationship. That relationship was both abusive physically as well as sexually. That turned into me taking an unforeseen trip to the Women's Prison Institute. I spent 3.5 years there.
I had nowhere to go. I was on the streets. I was using a stove to support my habit. Nobody wanted to deal with me because I didn't really want to deal with me. I was actually just existing.
I was heavy in active addiction, which led me to jail time. I was so tired from that life I was living. I didn't want to go back, and I know that's where I was heading if I hadn't found this place.
Over the past 40 years, we've seen a 700% increase in the number of incarcerated women. This is a problem because what we know is that without attention being paid to those gender-specific issues that women face, we're going to continue to see the numbers increase. When I think about the name Keyway, I think about a pathway. And when I think about our women, a lot of the times they know where they want to go, they just need the path to get there. We are able to offer a range of housing opportunities for them. These range from a highly structured, highly supported living environment, all the way to women living in the community who may not need much more than maybe help with a deposit or first month's rent.
I had been working with incarcerated women, and we started asking them, what do you need? And so they said they needed a safe place to live, they needed help getting free of drugs, and then they needed help finding jobs. So we set up this organization just trying to meet those very basic needs.
I've been with Keyway 22 years. I'm also a formerly incarcerated woman that's in recovery. Keyway has had an impact on different judges. They feel comfortable keeping a non-violent offender in the community, and because they know that we hold our people accountable. You know, I tried to bring up topics to instill hope in them, to let them know that I'm an example that change is possible.
Keyway served as a guide for me. They helped me prioritize my education plan, my career plan. I'm also a mother of 3, so they have offered like family unity opportunities so where I could take parenting classes. They also offered like therapy services too as well. Utilized every opportunity I did, and they helped me to my today. Keyway has helped me start a new life.
Through prayer, I ended up at Keyway. I was grateful to get into treatment. I'm talking extremely grateful to have a place to live, to have something to eat, just to be in a clean environment, and some of the things that we did that I never done before, being with other women, being able to talk through issues. The person that I am today, a direct result from Keyway.
I'm making sure that what I'm saying is aligning with what I'm doing. Do your research, but what you're gonna find is Keyway is unmatched in their resources, support, staff that care. Keyway has helped me become a better person, helped me grow, and that's so beautiful. I'm definitely a person I never dreamed I could be today because of Keyway.
We're committed to doing the research to ensure that the programs and services that we offer are effective.
We couldn't do the work that we do without the support of people with donations. Any amount help us continue to help women struggling to get their life back on track, bringing families back together.
Believe me when I say I've heard quite a few no's, but I've heard more yeses now, and that's what gives me the confidence to keep pushing today.
Their donations help me to be a positive and productive person in society.
You help them find their goodness. You help them restore their lives. We can't do it for them. but we can build them up so that they know their worth.
Our mission is clear: to support women as they transition to their families and community. Your support is key to the success of our mission. Your support helps change lives.
What would be one word to describe this journey?
Heartache.
Enriching.
Gratitude.
Unapologeticness. Hope.
Elevating. Passion.
Resilience.
I say transformation.
Determination.
Intention. My word is compassion. Rebirth.
Intentional.
It's bigger than just walking down your probation and parole. It's changing your mindset, lifestyle, and never returning to prison again. It's the reentry journey with Cardell Sims. All right, man, we are back with another episode of the reentry journey. And before we get started with our guests, I just like to say that this episode is brought to you by I'm So. That's right. Inspire, motivate, support others. That's what we like to do here at the reentry journey. So I want to give a big shout out to DJ David Walker and the I'm So brand. Keep doing what you're doing, brother.
I'm So is an acronym for inspire, motivate, and support others. Also, I'm So in the dictionary or English terms is to a great extent, beyond normal. And I took that and spun it in a positive way to make it to where everything you do is extra. Everything you do is above average. It's going hard, is striving to be the very best version of yourself.
Now that we are back with another episode of the reentry journey, today our guest, man, got a lot of work in this field. And I'm just wanting to get into the bio so you can understand. Our guest is Miss Barbara Baker, the Advocacy Director and Certified Peer Support Specialist at Keyway Center for Diversion and Reentry. She brings over 25 years of unwavering dedication to transforming the lives of justice-involved women. As a passionate advocate, Ms. Baker champions alternatives to incarceration and tirelessly campaigns for legislative reforms aimed at improving the lives of justice-involved women. Having personally experienced incarceration, Ms. Baker's commitment is deeply rooted in her own journey to empowerment. Her transformative experience fuels her mission to provide the support she wished for during her early years. In her extensive tenure at Keyway, she has had a profound impact, positively influenced the lives of thousands of women. As a certified peer support specialist, Ms. Baker draws on her own unique perspective to connect with and guide justice-involved women through their own paths of healing and growth. Her lived experience serves as a beacon of hope, showcasing that redemption and transformation are not only possible, but achievable. Ms. Baker's advocacy work extends beyond the walls of Keyway, resonating in legislative circles where she actively pursued changes that address the specific needs and challenges faced by justice-involved women. Her tireless efforts contribute to reshaping the narrative surrounding incarceration and reentry. Ms. Barbara Baker stands as a living testament to the transformative power of support, resiliency, and advocacy. Her journey from incarceration to empowerment has become an inspiration, guiding others towards a brighter, more promising future. Welcome to the reentry journey, Ms. Barbara Baker. Welcome to the reentry journey.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being the guest and coming on. What originally drew you to this work, supporting justice-involved women? Was there a specific experience or a moment that sparked your passion for the work that you do?
It was none of that. It was the plan of God of my understanding. You know, as a formerly incarcerated woman that had been to prison 5 times, I had no idea what a woman needs to stay out of prison. Because if I did, I certainly wouldn't have been there 5 times. But the last time I came out of prison was October the 3rd of 1995. That night before then, I got on my hands and knees and prayed to the God of my understanding. Told him I wasn't asking you for no material things. I didn't ask you for no house, no car, none of that. I'm just asking you to keep me clean and sober and out the penitentiary. I got involved with this group called Let's Start. It was a group for formerly incarcerated women where we would meet on Tuesday nights and have meetings and stuff. And the groups was led by formerly incarcerated women. And while attending those groups and stuff, people was teaching me how to approach judges, how to approach legislators. I had no idea what I was going to do with any of that. I was just at a point in my life where my life was not working for me. So I was taking suggestions from people that was doing the work and then who it was working for. After being at that program about 3 or 4 years, I ended up getting a job working with them for 20 hours a week. I came out of prison as a certified certified med tech and a certified nurse aide. That's all the work that I had did, and they had certificates in there. But mind you, when I came out of prison the last time, I was 45 years old. I'm 72 now. I'll be 73 this year. And when working with that program, I was given the opportunity to go around and tell people my story. I was given the opportunity to let go of to share my shame and guilt, and tell people what it had, how much what that disease had did to my life. I didn't wake up one day say I was going to have 2 kids, become a heroin addict, and leave them for my mother to raise. I started experimenting with drugs at an early age, and because of my addictive personality, it took me from one thing to another, and I landed in the hands of heroin, and that's where I stayed for 20-something years.
Wow.
The reason why I say this was the plan of God of my understanding. Like I told you, I was involved with this group Let's Start, and any night is always anywhere from 25 to 30 women there. The day Sister Rose called, wanted somebody to come and work for CWIT, Center for Women in Transition, I happened to be the only client there that day. And I left Let's Start and went straight over there. It was about 10 minutes from where I was, and went straight over there. And she did something she said she never did before, was hire anybody on the spot. When I left there, I left there skipping. They told me I was going to be making $18,000 a year. You thought they told me I was going to make $80,000 a year. And the cold part about it, I had no idea what Center for Women in Transition did before I went for the interview. After they gave me the job, I didn't look it up, do no research, find out what they did. All I was going to go there and do my 20 hours and get out of there, because for the first time, my life was working for me. I wasn't throwing stones at the penitentiary. I wasn't getting high. I wasn't hanging with nobody. Was getting high. My life was working for me, and pieces was falling into place. But after I got there and seen the work that they were doing and what they was offering for women coming out of jail and prison, that just blew my mind, and I just took it and ran with it. I knew everybody coming out of prison because I had did so much time there. And so I would tell them, hey girl, they got this program over here. If you come and do this, this, and this, they gonna do this, this, and that. And getting women to come into the program and standing strong. If you wasn't going to work with your mentor, if you wasn't going to come to a gathering once a month, then you wasn't going to get no help over here.
Right.
Yeah, because, when I first worked there, I think God put me there because it was all those nuns, and nuns are taught compassion all their life. Coming up being a nun, and a sad song don't care who heart it breaks. So, if you want to come over here and do something and get to and work with these people, they're going to help you get yourself together, then you're welcome. But if you wasn't, you ain't going to come over here because as Dolphin, we can be bullies and take over and, want to run some stuff and always looking for the quick fix. So, I just took it and ran with it, I just thought it was wonderful the things that they was willing to do for a person as soon as they step out of jail. Make sure you got food to eat. Make sure you got clothes to put on your back when you wake up the next morning. Make sure you got a roof over your head. You know, they was just willing to do all this, and all they was asking for you to have a phone call with somebody and come to a meeting once a month for an hour. Then they give you $10 for coming to the meeting. So
Oh
I was
yeah.
just I was just blown away by the support that they were offering women, and that was early on. They really offer more support now because we will send our women to other places that people was having housing of women and pay them for our women to stay there. But now Keyway have three, and after 25 years, we changed the name to Keyway Center for Diversion and Reentry. But
Okay.
we got housing and stuff for our women. We have the Barbara Baker House, which was named after me. We have
Oh,
Sharon House.
congratulations.
We had a Sharon House, which was named by the one of the mothers that started the program, and we have Sherman House. So we have three
Okay.
houses and stuff for our women now. So it wasn't my plan to work with women coming out of jails and prison. I had did so much time with women over the years. You know, I was leaving them behind, but I was hoping something was going to happen for them. But I didn't know that I was going to play such a big role in the lives of women coming out of jail and prison and advocating in court and stuff for him. So that was never one of my goals. Wasn't in my plans. That was the plan my God and my understanding had for my life. So that's how I got to doing this work. And in doing so, it did. It's my passion. I love doing it. You know,
Oh wow.
standing before a judge and and giving him a plan for a woman and what she's going to be doing if he let her out to come to our program.
Mm. And you have an incredible 25 plus years of experience in this field. How have you seen attitudes and approaches to working with justice involved women change over that time frame?
Well, it's been a lot of increase with women over the about 700% increase in women being incarcerated at a faster pace than men. But I'm seeing that they're finally beginning to look at what women and stuff need. You know, women needs a lot different than men. You know, most times of time incarceration, women are the sole caregiver. The woman is the one. When the man go to jail, the woman is going to keep the family together and go visit and stuff like that. But it don't always happen like that for women. You know, everything fall
Right.
apart. You know, so they're opening up. I see Department of Corrections are being more or trying to work more with the programs in the community, which needs to happen. So I'm seeing uh, that they're finally focusing on why this is happening, because that's what Keyway do. We don't just step a woman into our program and stuff. We try to work on the causation with her. You know, so if
Okay.
we can get to the causation, then we can get to the root of the problem, and she don't have to keep going, become one of those revolving door people.
Right. Mm. And how does your own lived experience help you connect with and support the women that you work with?
I always you know, a lot of them, like I said, when I first got this job, I had did a lot of time, so a lot of women knew I had did a lot of time, and a lot of them felt in their heart, if I can do it, they can do it. You know, I had one friend who used to always say, Barbara Baker. I used to say, wait a minute, you ain't make me think like I was the worst thing out there. I wasn't nowhere near worse than you. But it gives them hope, you know. It gives them hope, and I'll try to move heaven and earth for them. I'm available for them 24 hours a day if they need me, but I don't play with that disease.
Right.
I know
Mm.
it when I hear it. I know it when I see it. I don't play with that disease because they say it come to rob. You know, that disease robbed me of stuff that I'll never be able to get back. I didn't get to see my kids enter into school. I didn't get to see my kids come out of school. You know, so uh, just working with them and letting them know that and we fall down, but we get up. You know, but if you using and you study lying about you not using and we know what you using, that ain't gonna fly with me.
Right. Yeah,
Because if
yeah. So
you're
you
not
done been through that.
admitting, right, we can't help you if you're not admitting, you
Yeah.
know, and change don't come overnight.
True. True. Yes, indeed. Because I went to similar like you. I went to prison 5 times. I can't. I done lost count on the county jail trips.
Right.
And like you said, it don't happen overnight. It took me 5 times and standing in front of the federal government and them handing me
Hmm.
a piece of paper talking about United States versus Cardell Sims. I was like,
Hmm.
and I'm in my mid 30s, so I'm like, well, I know I'm probably gonna be out my mid 40s at the least. So I need
Hmm.
got to figure something out because I didn't want to spend the rest of my life in prison.
Right. Me either. You know, I had given too much of it and it was time for me to do something different. And then when I first started going, I didn't even realize I had addiction. I thought everything I was doing was because I wanted to. I could stop using anytime I wanted to. And that just showed you how what that disease have you. Because if I could stop anytime I wanted to, I would stop before I hit them jail cells. And
Right.
a lot of times you be operating and know what you be on parole, you know what the end result's gonna be. If I don't stop this, I'm gonna do this. But you know that disease make all the decisions for you.
Yeah, it's going. I was just telling. I run a virtual class in Arizona prison. And I'm just telling them that last class, like, you can say what you want. Yeah, your family counting on you, this and that. I said this. I said you knew all that before you went to prison. Did what you did. If you was like me, I knew the consequences of what I was doing. I just couldn't stop it because I was addicted to what I was doing.
Right. Absolutely. And I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead.
No. I didn't have really nothing to say. I'm just like you were saying. Like I knew the consequences, but I still couldn't stop. If I
Right.
could have did it on my own, then I would have stopped. Knowing that
Right.
I was going to prison, even knowing that I was going to go to prison and catch cases and getting time at the time and treatment centers, and then I still was doing it. Knowing I had to go see the PO, knowing that if I went in there and dropped again, I was going to go to prison or I was going to have to go do it. I still went in there and dropped again dirty. So I
Right.
definitely can agree with that. You was talking about, the some of the biggest challenges and the needs that justice involved women face once they're released. Can you talk about some of those needs?
Well, some of the biggest challenge they face when they come out, they don't have housing stability, financial security, emotional wellness, and lack of community engagement. You know, sometimes we out there using we burn those bridges where when we get to a point where we really want to get ourselves together, we can burn so many bridges that family be telling us, "We'll see you when you get yourself together." We don't want to hear it no more. We done heard that before. You know, and
Yeah.
people not wanting to rent to you because you got a felony record. People not wanting to hire you because you got a felony record. And then women need time to heal when they first come out. That's what I love about Keyway. We don't allow women to work for the first 30 days they come into the program. We want them to get adjusted to the program, talk to the behavior health specialists and stuff like that. Because, you know, when you out here using, you traumatizing yourself before you put in these relationships, you know, all that trauma and all that go together with use. You
Right.
know, so try to let you kind of heal from your trauma, get a little hold on your trauma and start getting affiliated with the people that you can talk to and stuff. You know, give them time to heal. You know, have to trying to make a way to get back with their kids and stuff. You know, the Department of Family Health. I mean, Family Service make them jump through hoops to get their kids back. You know, you got all these parole obligations. You got parole obligations from trying to get your kids. It's just too much. You know, so that's the challenges of not having the support that they need when they come out. And Keyway can't work with every program, and although there's a lot of other programs in St. Louis, there's still a need for more.
Right. And what type of programs or interventions have you found to be most effective when it comes to helping women successfully transition back into the community?
Well, having the supports that they need, making sure the first thing gonna make them success is their basic needs are taken care of. Because if your basic needs are not taken care of, then you forced to go back to your survival skills. I'm not gonna be out here be hungry, nowhere to sleep or something. You're gonna find a way to survive. So making sure they basic needs, first of all, you ain't got to worry about what you're gonna eat tomorrow, you ain't got to worry about what you're gonna put on, you ain't got to worry about where you're gonna sleep. And when you got all those things out the way, that gives you an opportunity to work on you. And that's why I never did get a chance to work on me, because I would get out of jail, I would get a job, I would get a house, I would get my children, and I would relapse in that order. And that's because I came out running and doing what society said I should be doing. I never got a chance to do the work on Barbara that needed to be done first.
Man. Ooh, and that's true. I never really never looked at it that way, but exactly in that order. That's exactly how it went. That's how it went with me. You get the house, you get the job, you get your little house, and then next, you fall right back into the same cycle. Wow.
Yeah.
So, what legislative or policy changes would you most like to see happen to improve outcomes for justice involved women?
I'd like to see the clean slate bill that we're focusing on this year in the legislative session, and the SNAP bill. The clean slate bill, after so many years, would automatically erase your record and stuff, so women can have a better chance at getting decent job. I've been out 30 years, and if I go look for a job tomorrow, that 30-year-old, 35-year-old police record gonna pop up and hinder me. So to see the SNAP bill.
That's the clean slate.
Clean slate bill. They had the expungement bill, but it don't really do nothing, because you can only expunge, I think, like one felony and a couple of misdemeanors, and you have to pay for it, and you have to go to each county you was in to get the approval back. It's just a lot of time and money wise that people don't have.
Right.
So that clean slate bill, it's a lot simpler, and after so many years, you don't have to do nothing, it'll automatically fall off. Another one is the SNAP bill, the food stamp bill, where they ban people for life for small amounts of drugs they done got caught with. Those are two bills that we're working on this year in the session. It's from January to May, so hopefully we can get it passed through this year. If not, then whoever take my place can be up there trying again next year, because sometimes you have to go year after year. Don't let them wear you down. You have to wear them down.
Right.
We end up getting a prison nursery bill passed last year, and that gives women can stay with a woman having her baby can stay with her baby up to 18 months. I had my son when I was in prison, and at the end of 5 days, he went out of one door with my mother and them, and I went out another door.
So with the SNAP program that they implemented, that y'all looking to implement, is it going to give opportunity for those that was convicted of them drug cases to be able to get the SNAP benefits?
Yes.
Oh yeah, that's huge.
Yes,
right
some of them can get them and some of them can't. And I think it's the charge or something. If they got trafficking, I think that's the one.
Okay.
That prevents them from getting it, instead of people with possessions.
Okay. And what gives you the hope, when you face these challenges of trying to, or not saying trying to, but when you face these challenges of transforming the justice system?
Well, what gives me hope is that they're beginning to listen and trying to work with us. We meet with them on a monthly basis. We got them started to getting them back on track to make sure everybody come out of prison with an ID. You can't do nothing without an ID. They can't get medications or nothing, so they working with us on that. They talking about they got a plan for 2025 to help offenders when they come out to be able to get jobs and stuff. So they trying to reach out now and work with organizations in the community. That's what gives me hope that they're talking more about reentry.
Right, because when back when you first started the reentry journey, reentry wasn't a fad like it is now.
Uh-uh. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Even when I started my journey, they didn't want to hear nothing about no reentry and no alternative. She going penitentiary.
Right. What
She
advice would you
chose
give?
this life. She chose to use drugs. Now they looking at it as a disease now.
Right.
It's not a decision that people just make.
Mm,
You got a
exactly.
choice. You have a choice, but once if you make the bad choice, then it's over.
Yeah, that's how they looked at. You know, what advice would you give to someone who wants to get in this advocacy work and with the justice involved population?
I would tell them to look at what population they want to work with, men or women, and look at what programs out here that's doing it. Do some research. Go to a couple of meetings. You don't have to say nothing to commit to anything. Just go and listen and stuff. Do a research and stuff. I have the Advocacy Advisory Board, and we meet once a month during the session, and we meet for an hour by Zoom. So people don't have to leave their jobs to just come to an hour meeting. We just do it by Zoom.
Okay.
So and it's good to get involved. You might want to just make phone calls, or you might want to do letter writing, or you just want information about how things are going for you. You might have a loved one caught in the system and you want to understand the system more. Just find out who's doing what in your state and get involved with it, because I'm sure it's some kind of advocacy going on everywhere, because the
Right.
problem is everywhere.
Sure is. Sure is. It sure
hmm
is. What's one piece of wisdom or advice you try to impart to the women when you work with them as they embark on their own journeys of growth?
To tell them to stay involved, let them know that I'm here for you. If you need me, you feel free to call me. Keep doing what you've been doing. You know, uh, don't let the grandiose set in. You've made it this far. Continue on your journey and continue to make your recovery number one.
Okay.
Continue to keep your recovery number one. When I do peer support meetings with the women, I always try to bring up topics to get them to think about that. We're getting too busy, or commitment and stuff like that, because your recovery is the glue that holds everything together.
Right. Most definitely.
hmm
Outside of your professional role, what are some of your personal passions and interests?
Well, working with women, I've been last couple of weeks. I've been on this conference, Free Her Fellowship 2024, and they doing stuff a little bit more on the federal level. So my passion gonna always be about helping women.
Okay.
So that's my passion, and that's what I want to see how I can be involved, still be involved in advocacy once I retire without all the other commitments to it. I'm ready to step away from the work that I've been doing one on one with the women and stuff. I'm ready to step away from that for a while.
Okay. Have you written any books or thought about writing a book about your journey in your life?
I thought about writing a book, but where do you start? I don't feel like I did nothing for to come up with a book. I
What
thought
you mean
about
you
that.
don't feel? What you mean you don't feel like your whole story? First of all, if you don't mind me saying, it is worth telling. Where you come from to where you at, the thousands of people that you help, the things that you seen. You even seen yourself in some of these women that you help. You have an amazing story of what did you say? It was 5 days when you had your son while you was locked up, and within 5 days he went out the door, one door, you went another door, and how you're fighting now to even turn that 5 days into an 18-month process. You have
hmm
so much, you've done so much that you can write about, and your story alone is enough, in my opinion, that should be heard and told. And what better way to tell it to sit back writing a book? You ain't got to write it nowadays. You can just speak it onto the speaking text.
Okay.
Yeah,
Right.
speaking text. But
Right.
I'm pretty sure there's a lot of us in the community that would love to help you sit back and write your story, and would love to hear your journey. So yeah, you have a lot that people would love to hear, because they love to
Okay.
hear mine, and my story is nowhere in depth. I'm nowhere near the work that you put in, and and I just know for a fact that I'll be one of the first ones to buy the book and you write the story, most definitely.
Yeah, when I think of books and people that's done came out and wrote books, they done went and got masters in social work and stuff like that. And that wasn't my journey. I tried to go to school. I remember when 9/11 happened. I remember that so firmly because I was up getting ready to go to school and was looking at the news at the same time when they hit the buildings and stuff in New York, and I guess that's why I feel like I really don't have a story, because I didn't go to school and get a lot of degrees and stuff. That wasn't the journey that was in the plan for me.
No, I ain't got no lot of degrees and all that. How the narrative is changing in the reentry and things like that. The narrative's changing as far as who's writing the books and sharing the story as well. It's a lot of us who've been in the situation. We don't have the degrees, but we have the story, and we have the transformation and the journey, and we can always tell what it took and what it takes for us to make that transformation in that journey, and that we're still on the journey. So
Right.
I would, if you find it in your time, I would think that maybe that'd be something to look into.
Okay. Because I never thought an addict like me would have opportunity to sit in the judge's chambers with the judge, the prosecutor, and a probation officer, and all of us arguing our point and my point come across. You
Right.
know.
See what I'm saying? Did you just that alone? Just that experience in the book, people will want to read about. Like, what do you mean? Like, what do you? I want to. Yeah. I think I don't know how we're gonna do it. I might have to talk to April and see if we can.
A guy got judges calling me on the phone wanting my advice.
Yeah.
So
See. Oh, yeah. You got a story. You got a story.
okay.
Definitely. Yeah. You definitely got a story. So, speaking of story, I always ask every one of my podcasts. This is the last question that I ask every one of my podcasts, and it is: if you had one word to describe this journey, what would that one word be, and why?
A blast. It'll be a blast. Because and I was telling my executive director this, y'all going. I said, first of all, you sure y'all doing all this stuff for me? Yeah, you sure y'all ain't just happy to be getting rid of me? Because this job that took me so many places. I done been everywhere: Washington D.C., California, New York, Florida, all kind of places. Getting training and stuff. It just has opened up a lot of first times for me. Things that I never thought I would be doing, and then and all of it has been on their dime. I've never had to spend a penny out of my pocket unless I wanted to. The organization of working with the women has always kept my life in front of me. And I always let them know that the only difference between me and them is I'm just further along in my process. So I've just been so appreciative of the opportunity that I was given a platform to give back to a community that I took so much from. And I'm just grateful for that I work with everybody. Everybody I work with almost got some kind of degree, but over these years they've always hung on to what I was saying or listening to what I was saying. So it's been a blast. That's all I can say. It has been a blast. It was a job that never felt like a job until now. This year it feels like a job.
Yes, you felt like
That's
a
because
job.
I don't want to get up in the morning no more. I'm ready to lay back, and then it probably won't last about 30 days. I'll be ready to get up.
Right.
But it's never seemed like a job. I had a lot of opportunities. I've never been tied down to a desk for 8 hours and stuff like that. My job always had me in the community doing stuff. And you know,
Right.
judges know me, lawyers know me, probation officers, all everybody know Barbara Baker. So it built me up, you know, because without Keyway Center for Diversion and Reentry, there would be no Barbara Baker Advocate Director. You know, it's
Right.
the spot. They put me in the spotlight, you know,
And
just
did
with the job.
would you say them? Would you say that they gave you the confidence that you needed for your journey?
Yes, yes. And not just Keyway, the program that I worked with before I got to Keyway. You know,
Right.
when I first went in there and they said it was 20 hours, I told them, well, that's good because I wasn't working full time because, see, my life was working for me and everything had started at Let's Start. So I was in no way, form, or fashion going to walk away from that because that was the first place I went to and kept me clean and sober for 4 years. You
Right.
know, so, and being with
So
other, go
go ahead.
ahead. And being around other women and stuff. And like I say, getting a chance to share my shame and guilt. I didn't have to live behind shame and guilt anymore. It was able to free myself.
Right. Mm.
I didn't have to
'Cause-
hide who I was.
mm. Because do you think if you had to continue to hide who you was, you continue to go down the same avenue, or was
What you repeat that?
I said, do you think if you wasn't able to not hide who you were, do you think you could would have continued to went down the same path that you were going?
It's a possibility because you have to change people, places, and thing, and being with around them people and stuff gave kept me from around those old people places and things. I didn't get bored. I didn't have time to get bored anymore and want to go start navigating toward the old people places and freeze because I was too afraid that people that hadn't used drugs or wasn't using drugs wasn't going to accept me.
Mm. Right. So, do you have any remaining words, any parting words for those who are going to be tuning in? We people that's tuning in are we got people like me and you, peer support specialists. We got those on the inside that's going to be tuning in, listening. Those that's running institutions, correctional institutions, and things like that are listening as well. Any final words to those that'll be tuning in?
Just whenever you can help out, help out. You know, just do it from your heart because this is some hard work for real, and it can get painful sometimes. You know, you have to take care of yourself when you're doing this work as well, because it can get painful. You know, but the help men and women need help coming out of jails and prison. A lot of times, by the time they hit the jail cell, their lives has to become so unmanageable. They don't have a clue where to start at putting it back together, and to have somebody out there with saying, "Here's a hand up for you. Let me walk this path with you. Let me love you till you can learn to love yourself." Then I suggest they get the opportunity to do that kind of thing or support somebody coming home from prison that they do it because it's needed. And just because you have one person and it don't work out, don't use that to not help other people. Everybody don't want help, and some people do want help. So don't let the people that don't want help you discourage you from helping the people that want the help.
Right. And there you have it. Another guest on the reentry journey, Miss Barbara Baker. You put in a lot of work. You about to retire. And what's next for you is remain to be unseen. I hope a book is somewhere in there. But I do want to say thank you for coming on the reentry journey, sharing your story, your journey, and your work. I really appreciate it. And if anything that we as a community can do, even though you're action in the work, um, feel free to reach out. You have my email. Anything I can help out with, just email me and let me know as well. Once again, I thank you for the work that you've done over 25 plus years, using your story to change and touch 1,000 plus more just and impacted women, justice involved women, and we appreciate you here at the Reentry Journey. Thank you for your work.
And thank you for having me. And if anybody have any questions for me, my uh, email address is barbbaker@keywaycenter.org or 314-607-1417. You have any questions, I'm open for questions or anything. You know, you could reach out to me anytime you want. Just because I'm retiring, the work will still be going on. I'll be part of the process, of the hiring process of who's going to take my job. So the work will still go on and have somebody that's going to fight and work as hard as I did, because it's important work that must be done. And our
Yes, it is.
populations are getting younger, so if we can keep our younger people to get them turned around because they made a mistake and don't let them learn that they can do time, then we'll be doing them service.
That's right. And there we have it. Another episode of the Reentry Journey. I am your host, Cardell Sims. Again, this is our guest, Miss Barbara Baker. And for those of you that's watching that are on the inside, always remember what I say. Don't let the limitations of your background reduce the height of your potential. Outgrow what you were born into. We are out here for you. We are inside there for you. So all you have to do is just reach out. We're building a community. Thanks a lot for everyone tuned in to the Reentry Journey. Until next time, let's continue to show gratitude and continue to be the evidence, because we are the evidence. Thank you. What would be one word to describe this journey?
Heartache.
Enriching.
Gratitude.
Unapologeticness.
Hope.
Elevating. Passion.
Resilience.
I say transformation.
Determination.
Intention. My word is compassion. Rebirth.
Intentional.
It's bigger than just walking down your probation and parole. It's changing your mindset, lifestyle, and never returning to prison again. It's the Reentry Journey with Cardell Sims.